Hello and welcome. My name is Kathy A, and today I thought I would go over a couple of things from Makeup by Mario. Now I was there first thing on October 1st, right fresh in the morning, so that I could be there to make sure I got these palettes. And what I thought I'd show you is kind of my makeup from start to finish, and using two of these products. One is the face palette, which is the Conceal and Prep and Prime palette, and it's got a mirror here, but you can see close up here. This is the light one. There are two other color variants, and I'm not sure, and any of you who have darker skin tone than I, do you think that darker skin tone variant is dark enough? Anyway, this is the light one. You've got two shades of primer, concealer, and you've got a very finely milled powder. So you powder and the two shades of concealer. So this is very convenient for blending, for working with different skin tones, or if you're in the summertime and your skin is slightly darker than it normally is, this slightly darker shade is very convenient. So he really thought it through as far as the color. But I will show you in my demonstration how I really felt about this. And the other product that I purchased was the Master Mattes palette. This is a 12-pan palette of colors, absolutely beautiful, perfect for autumn. Now these colors all, they swatch slightly lighter, slightly warmer. So what you see in the pan is close, but it's just a teeny bit lighter. There's a teeny bit of smoky kick up when you put your brush in, but that's a user thing probably with me. I think they blended really nicely. I would have preferred to have a neutral transition shade, because the transition shades in here seem to be quite warm. These are all based on skin tones, and this reminds me so much of the Too Faced palette that came out that was all based on skin tones, except the Too Faced one had shimmers in it, shimmers and mattes. This one is just mattes, it's all mattes, but it is definitely well worth looking at if you are looking for a good base palette. This is your man, definitely. So, without further ado, I am going to just go right into the demo so you can see for yourself my thoughts, and I'll be back with you with my final review. Okay, I've just primed my regular face with the MAC Strobe Cream. And it appears this Mario Eye Prep and Conceal and Set is there's two shades of primer, and there's a setting powder here. So we will, and it says it's also a primer and a concealer, so I'm also going to prime my eyes with that. So I think I'm going to use my fingers actually on this one. I'm just going to prime my eyes. Well, it's a cream. I'm going to try using a brush. I'm going to go into, this is the cream concealer. And it supposedly has a primer in it. Okay, not impressed. Not impressed. I can see all of the details of my dry patches. I'm going to go into that darker color here. I think it's really meant to use your fingers for this because the brush isn't really pulling it out for me. I'm seeing a lot of texture around my eyes, and okay, I'm going to go into this brush and I'm just going to pat this in with my finger, and I don't like to have powder products with cream products. Okay. It seems to have a medium coverage. It's not covering as well as I thought it would. Trying to tap here, and I'm going to just kind of go over that with some powder with my fingers. I think on hindsight I probably should have put a blob of this on my tray. Okay, I just took some of the light and the dark and I put them on this tray, and I'm just going to, and the light is too light and the dark is too dark for me. I have a medium light skin. I'm about NW20 in MAC. I think it's meant to be used with a finger rather than a brush. I'm trying to buff it in with the brush, and it's too thick really for a brush to buff correctly, so you do need the warmth of your fingers to work it. Okay. So initially, I'm not impressed. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to put some other makeup on. I'm going to get to the eyes. I'm just going to show you close up if I can. You can see that in there. There's a lot of in the lines and texture. I'm going to just try and see if I can work that out a little bit. I'm so disappointed. I can see around the edge of my nose. Nope, I don't like this one. Unfortunately, we're going to have to return that one. that was a fail on several levels for my skin. Now I do have dry skin. I did exfoliate today though, and I did moisturize really well before I started this makeup routine. Yeah, let me just... Yeah, I just... Now the powder, actually the powder is not bad. I'm not really liking, especially the lighter shade. It's really light, so blending it with the slightly darker shades seemed to help a little, but it really does settle into any lines you have or texture on your face. Brushes they had did not impress me either. I was a little surprised at the brush quality. It didn't look like a really high quality thing. One of the eye brushes had a couple of like hairs sticking out funny from it. Oh man, you know, I'm sure by the time I get to the eyeshadow I'll feel a lot better about... This is my little rose blush thing. Just do a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury. Darling. I noticed she's advertising a lot before some of my videos. I'm so sick of hearing pillow talk everything. She's got to find another gig, you know? This pillow talk stuff is... It creased in my eyes as well. Oh my goodness. So you definitely have to put a powder over the top of that. You know, this is, that's a total hot mess. Total hot mess. I'm just going to put some powder. Oh, I got to set that primer on the eyes. That's just awful. Oh my God. Okay, well, a little damage control here. This is the Mario Master Mattes palette. I did not buy any of the brushes. They were $22, and quite frankly, none of them really appealed to me. There was one creasing brush that looked kind of interesting, but right now that's not, it's just not in my wheelhouse to purchase. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with this lighter shade here, and I'm just going to pat that into the lid and the inner corner here. It's good, not too much fallout, which is nice, and wow, it's a nice payout, very nice payout. Wow, yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, alright Mario, you have repaired my face here. Okay, I'm going to take that same brush, and I think I'm going to go into, this is very kind of mustardy, duck, goose. Okay, here we go. Let's use this one. There's a little bit of, you do pull a lot out of, wow, this is much lighter than what you would expect. He supposedly based these on skin tones, and just like the Too Faced thing, this reminds me so much of the Too Faced palette, except it doesn't have as many colors. And I think the dark shade and the black shade is going to be much nicer than what Too Faced had. I like the formula a lot. I think it's a wonderful, very, very high performance formula. It blends well, it deposits the color evenly. I'm going to go into a darker shade here because this is just coming up a lot lighter than what I thought. Now let me just go in here. Let me go here. I'm just going to make that outer V here. I'm going to switch to a different blending brush. I use one of my Glitzy Fritzy blending brushes. Glitzy Fritzy. Yeah, that's blending nicely. Into this shade's a little bit lighter. Put that on the edge and blend it over. I'm going to go into this really dark shade here. There's not a lot of fallout, and the payout is wonderful. These shades are great. I do like this palette. I do. I think this is going to be a great palette to have. I hope they stocked enough of them. I was in Sephora yesterday. It was launch day, and they were all just set out. They had just set them out. And I said, "Oh, do you have Mario stuff?" And she said, "We sure do." And I said, "Well, what am I going to get?" And it took me quite a while to decide on these. And I looked at everything that they had. I mean, the Shimmers palette looked very good too. But I thought I should get a face product and also get an eye product. And they didn't have blushes. They did have lots of highlighters. There was several shades of highlighters for different skin tone variants. But I'm just not as... I mean, I think my drugstore Pure is fine. I don't think I need to get a Mario highlighter. I didn't see any lipsticks either. So no lipsticks, no blushes. Okay. Now this is so mustardy. Eee. Let me just see what that looks like. Yeah. Oh, it's coming off more yellow, I think, rather than mustard. It would have been great to have some shimmers in here, but you know, you can't have everything. I think for mattes, these are wonderful. I think you can still create a nice cohesive look with the mattes. Let me go up into here, see if we can get something maybe right in here. And I'm just gonna go up here. Finger. Got this nice black here. I'm just gonna put this right into the lash line. Yeah, these are wonderfully pigmented and they blend nicely. dark brown here right in the corner to punch that up a little bit. Well, this eye palette is outstanding. Really, really nice. I think I'm just going to bring that in a little bit, kind of variegate it in or blend it in. Let's go back to this mustard here. I'm going to go back to this very light color here just for the corner. I am going to get up real close so you can see how this concealer went into all of my little lines and crevices. It absolutely totally cracked and settled. Oh my gosh. How awful. How sad. Let me fix my hair. I'll be right back with you. So my final thoughts. Very, very disappointed in the Concealer Prep and Set palette. The powder was okay, but the two primer concealers were oddly colored and they did not go on well. They just migrated right to all the wrinkles. I tried several times to press, set, use my warmth of my fingers to do it. There's like a medium coverage. But when it sunk into all the lines underneath my eyes and accentuated everything, that was it for me. I have much less expensive concealers and much easier ones to use. I don't like to have a powder in with cream products in a palette. I always think that you get a lot of cross-contamination there, and if you leave it open to work with this is getting harder. The cream products can get hard while you have it open working with the powder. So the Mario concealer palette was very, very disappointing, and I'm really sorry to say that I cannot recommend this one. But all is not lost, little lambs. This is wonderful. This is in the Master Mattes palette. Mario did a good job with them. Nice mirror here too. But this palette is just beautiful. Beautiful. Very much like the Too Faced, the skin tone palette that Too Faced put out with all the different size blocks of color. But there's no shimmers in here, it's all matte. These colors, let me just show you. The colors come off slightly warmer and slightly lighter than they appear in the pans, except the black and the dark brown seem to be pretty close to what they look like in the pan. The formula is extremely finely milled. It blends beautifully. This is a marvelous palette. I'm really impressed with this. $48 at Sephora. This is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. Definitely a thumbs up from me. I think it's well worth getting. It's perfect for autumn because of the warm colors. It does wear really well, and I think this is just fabulous. Would I make any changes? I'd probably have a more neutral transition shade. All the transition shades in here seem to be somewhat warm toned. So I think outside of that, everything else is fine. And there's a couple here that are a little mustardy, both of them, like this one. Yeah, this one and this one seem a little mustardy to me, but that's, you know, that's just me and I'm being picky. These are supposedly based on skin tones, and Mario's been developing this line for 20 years. So final thoughts, this is a marvelous palette. There is a little bit of fallout, but not much. Wonderful pigmentation, beautiful blending. I love it. I think it's very, very age friendly. The eyeshadow palette, not so much the concealer palette. So hopefully that has been helpful for you in making you decide the Makeup by Mario purchases you want to make. I have got here, these are all of the products that are available right now in the Makeup by Mario line. You can find it on Sephora at this time. I believe it launched October 1st, and I was there bright and early to pick it up at that time. So I hope all of you are having a wonderful week and have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.